Yep, it's official. This sucks. I'd rather be machining. Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is Rich from Rich Micro Tooling Technologies on the Honda Man channel, and I have a job coming up. It's going to be a retaining washer, and it's going to have a 5-pattern bolt whole circle on it. It's just to retain the shaft. So I don't really have anything to really hold it, and I've always wanted to make a mini pallet. I've seen some of my colleagues on YouTube have made one, and they really look handy. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make it. This is going to be relatively a very simple one. Composes of 55 holes, 1/4 threaded through. It's a 6 by 3/4 inch piece of aluminum, and every 1/2 inch is going to be a tapped hole for multiple locations. So I'm going to set up my speeds, feeds, and my height of my mill, and then I'm going to bring you back. As I showed you in the beginning, it's a pretty crappy day. It's a good day to make chips. Alright, I'll bring you back in just a couple of minutes. Alright, you're on. Okay, so here we go. Excuse my arm, I'm just going to be moving the light back so I can see that. Okay, so now we're going to find the edge. I want to go to this datum point here, because that's how I did it in my drawing. 0, 0. This will be 0, 0. And this is nothing complicated. This is no real high tolerance. This is just plugging in some threaded holes just to hold some toe clamps so that I can do my retaining ring. Okay? So how we're going to pick up the edges, I have a 5/16 shank in there. That's actually one of my centering tools. So I have a piece of paper. You can do this at home. It's 4/1000. So I'm just going to slide that right in back there, and I'm just going to move it around. Okay, now I'm going to bring mine up to my part. There, bit, right there. Raise up that. I'm going to set my 0 on my collar. I'm going to advance it to 4/1000. Re-0. Now that puts this back edge here up against this front edge. And I'm going to go 156 thousandths. So 156 thousandths. So now I'm going to take my collar again, and I'm going to 0 it there. No, you're not going to be able to see this. I use indicators and my dials just as a double check. So what I'm going to do is underneath my vise, in between the table and the machine itself, I'm going to put a 0 line. That's going to be my 0 in here. I'm going to do the same on the other side, on this side here. So I'm going to advance it. Let's just go 1/2 inch. I'm just going to snug up the mill. Okay, so this should be on my first location here. I'm going to back this up here. And I'm going to do the same right on this back side here. So I'm going to keep moving it. You're going to know when you're getting close. I wish I could see it. There, I touched it. So I'm just going to back up a little bit. Now I'm going to go back again. There you go, a bite. So I'm going to raise my quill. Set my graduated collar to 0. I'm going to advance it to 4. I'm going to re-zero my collar. I should be right directly over that center there too. Sorry I didn't show you the first one. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to advance it the 156 thousandths. So 156. That should put us right directly over our center line, and it sure looks pretty darn good to me. Okay, so now that I'm on 0 there, remember, always set your collars. There's my collar set there at 0. And I'm going to take my Sharpie and right down along the table, I'm going to put another line. Now I know my 0. And when I'm looking down on it, I'm right flush onto that line. So now I'm going to advance this 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I should be 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Let's see what we get. Get around to here. Just because for the ease of this. Okay. We're right on. So because of 55 holes, I'm not going to go through and drill all of them. I'm going to do one hole at a time. So we're going to do the first hole. Liquid love here in a second. Thank you, Tom. Number 7 drill. And I'm personally using Cool Tool on this. I'm just going to drill them out right now. I'll go back later on and hand tap them. I'm not going to bore you with the details. I'm just going to give you one more location, and then I'm going to shut you down, and I'm going to go through and blast out some other holes, and maybe bring you back maybe on the last hole or so, okay? Remember, we're always wanting to check that out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to stay on the same center line. Okay? I'm just going to be moving my table back over. I'm going to drop down to the next one and drill them all out. Okay, see you in a little while. I'm cheating on you. Starting and stopping it, starting and stopping is a pain in the dick. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to drill them all out. Probably going to go over to my drill press, drill them all out, and then tap them by hand. So let's bring you back then. Alright, sorry for lying to you, but it's a pain in the nuts. Okay. Isn't this thing a beauty? Act of beauty. This thing is gorgeous, man, with all them holes in there. Okay, so they're all just center drilled right now. There's up to here, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 holes that I drilled completely through. What a pain in the ass. I'm not going to sit here and do this switching back and forth. I checked with every hole just to make sure that I was on my locations, and it's looking good. So what I'm going to do is, just in case I have to put it back in, I am going to take and set up a stop and just pick up back over here. And then if, in case I have to put it back in, I can just slide it right back in. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drill these out. And I'll bring you back in a little while. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, well, they've been drilled. I still have to tap them, but I put a countersink on them, both sides. There's my little, I put a little mark, witness mark, so that'll give me this corner up here. And 55 holes. And all I have to do is tap it out. And I just wanted to give you a look at that. Just a little dye on there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take and tap them out. And then I'll bring you back when everything looks good. Alright, see you in a couple of minutes. Yeah, this sucks. I'd rather be machining. Hey, welcome back. Okay, very last stages of the pallet. Okay, I went ahead and I tapped the one. I just want to make sure my countersinks were deep enough, and they seem to be okay. So, I'm going to give you a couple of representations of how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I was thinking of hand tapping these, and then I got to thinking, why? Got a $300 drill sitting here, might as well use it, right? Okay, so let me see here, let me get this. Sorry about the ear stuff. Let me bring you in here. Okay, here we go. Going for a ride. Okay, so their witness hole, 55 holes. That's what they're going to look like threaded out. All right. Well, thanks, and I'll be right back. All right, folks. Well, thank you for taking the ride with me. This is my mini pallet that I'll be using for this job. This is the job, the one in question. I'm going to be putting the 5-bolt circle on here, but I've had these original. These are my toe clamps, but I've never had one of these. And thanks to all of Adam Booth made one, I believe Ox Tools made one. I just wanted to thank them because, you know, it's something you could use in the shop. I only plan to spot these, and then I'll drill them out on the drill press because, to be honest with you, I don't want to drill through my brand new pallet. You know, maybe farther down the road I will, but for right now, no, I'm not going to. All right, well, that's a wrap. It'll be in production. I don't know when I'll be starting this, hopefully shortly. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, go out there and make some chips. All right, folks. Good night.